right, so I did a little bit of prepping yesterday, and I've got a few experiments happening in my kitchen. So long story short, not going to do all the backstory, but I used to do a lot of nourishing tradition stuff, got out of it, been doing research on fermented foods, and I'm going to try to get back into it. So I've got my fermenting sauerkraut going. I finally got back with a sourdough starter, got that guy going. I'm going to make some of Serene's pancakes this week. And then I don't have a good kefir right now, so I'm just using the store-bought, double fermenting it on the counter like they suggest. And then for our breakfast this week, another experiment. We're going to use insulated, this is a flask, but not a flask. Tumbler maybe is the right word. Anyway, I'm going to experiment making shakes overnight. My husband's been doing his own research, wants some stuff in his breakfast, so I'm going to experiment making these the night before. One, if you know, my husband often gets up at 2 or 3 in the morning. We don't want the blender running. I'm not getting up and making it. So I'm going to experiment making these, putting these in the fridge, and then these have the straw, which is what I thought was important for somebody who's driving. So we'll see how that works. So this week it looks like it's going to be a smoothie every day, so I'm going to do some smoothie prep for that. I'm also going to get back into kombucha, and anyway, I've got a lot of things happening in my kitchen this week. Alright, so I need easy this week. I've got a busy week. It just got busier than I even thought. So my dinners are, they're ridiculously easy. But I did do the Lunchables again, and I'm just loving these. And again, I don't make up a whole week at once. One, I can't fit all of these and all of this and everything else in our fridges. So this one's mine, and if you know, my husband does not like tomatoes. But I've got salami, pepper jack cheese, smoked almonds, my tomatoes, my ranch, and JoJo's chocolate. And then we will also have a big thing of pickles as well on the side, since this is a pretty heavy S meal. It's pretty fatty. And then he's got carrots in his. I do not have the carrots because I don't like carrots. So I've got 5 of those prepped. And then as the week progresses, if I need to fill this back up, I've still got some stuff in the fridge, and then I can this is so convenient, handy for him, and then I can also change things up as he asks. So tomorrow's dinner is not prepped. I don't have them in the fridge, so I'm just going to have to make it tomorrow. Have my son, depending on how my day goes. I'm doing the Parmesan garlic chicken again. If not the easiest, one of the easiest recipes on the planet. It's just not quite as healthy because of some of the ingredients that are in here. But sometimes I need on-plan easy over amazing health. Well, I've got this stuff going, I guess. So it's just the chicken, this, some garlic, and cream cheese. Typically, I use the reduced fat, but I use my reduced fat in my cake and in other recipes. So, and then hubby and I will have salad and Greenfield's pasta, and my kids will probably just eat regular pasta because they eat junk. Okay. So, let's see. It's always a surprise because I have no idea what order these come out in. Okay, this is, another cheat I did this week is I have been really busy. And so I went and I bought in the freezer section the, what is this called? Seasoning blend. So this has got, I think onions, I think a little celery, a little bell pepper. So this is basically what this is recipe. You can't see it, I guess. I'm trying to find the best angle. Anyway, red beans and rice. So this is not low carb unless you, instead of doing brown rice and washing your beans, use cauliflower rice. So I've got turkey sausage, I've got my garlic and onion, I've got my seasonings, I've got tomatoes and red beans, and we will top it with the green onions. So I've got that in here. And then, I don't know if you've seen this floating around, but if you take things, even white rice, but white rice and brown rice and your sweet potatoes, which I knew about the sweet potatoes, if you cook them, refrigerate them, and reheat them, you actually lose some of the impact on your blood sugar. And I just watched a guy from TikTok who wears one, and he did that with white rice, and the impact on his blood sugar was so low. So I'm still going to use brown rice, but I'm going to pre-cook it and refrigerate it and then reheat it with our dinner, and that should bring down the carb impact. All right, and then this one, okay, this is a brand new recipe. I'm going to make sirloin tips. Again, every recipe is crockpot. Every recipe is mostly easy, so on the busier days that I have, I will make like probably this recipe, because I put this meat in here. It's still kind of frozen. Another tip I have, I go to my freezer. Most of the time, I pull out various meats, and then they go into the containers frozen, and then when I do go eat them, they haven't been sitting in a fridge thawed for a week. They go in typically frozen. So I've got my steak. Again, I find amazing deals in the clearance section, and it looks really good. I've got my mushrooms, my seasoning, my tomatoes, my tomato paste. Again, my seasoning blend. I've got bay leaves. Bay leaves are not essential for the recipes, but I like to put them in when I can because they are so amazing for you. Look up benefits of bay leaves and make some bay leaf tea. It's really good. And then this is optional, but this is my trick if a recipe calls for wine. You can use beef broth. You don't have to use wine. Beef broth, that'd be the word, is getting this guy, and then you can just set the other ones and put them in your fridge or wherever you want until, but again, you don't have to have it. It's not essential. Beef broth is absolutely okay instead of it. It just adds a different flavor. I feel like this is kind of close to maybe a beef bourguignon. Not that I'm French in any way, shape, or form. Okay, this is my cracked chicken. So in here, I've got my cauliflower rice, my chicken breasts, my green onions, my real bacon bits, and see, I've got my reduced fat cream cheese, my seasonings, and this time I added some of my ranch that I get from Costco that doesn't have the bad ingredients in it. And then my cheese, all I did, you can see, I literally just cut it from the block. And so everything is in here for that recipe. This is getting high. I think I will swap. Okay, and then my final crock-pot dinner for the week. This is a recipe that I have no idea how it's going to work out. So I've got my hamburger meat that was put in here frozen. I've got eggs, I've got the seasoning blend, I've got the seasonings, I've got ricotta cheese, and I've got some marinara sauce. And then I cannot find any local Walmart anything besides spaghetti with dream fills in it. You're really only supposed to have it once a week. But I am almost in survival mode, honestly. So this is going to be a crossover because I'm going to use I think it's the red lentil ziti. But I've got everything in here except for the ziti. And then I don't want to put the ziti in the crock pot and let it cook all day because I find that like the lentil, the chickpea, I find that those kind of get mushy, and I'm not a mushy pasta person, so I think I'm just gonna cook this and either stir in the lentils at the pasta at the very end, and then just add some cheese and then serve it that way. I think that's what I'm going to do because ideally I was gonna layer it, but I just don't think that's gonna work. And the final thing I made for meal prep this week is this delicious cake, and I think it's even prettier now that I've had it in the fridge. And one thing that I love is, I don't think it's going to come across on this camera, I turn my lights off in here because they add a weird glare to my face, and if I use a ring light, it reflects on my glasses. Anyway, I think you can see, like, when it sat in the fridge, if there was like a blueberry next to like where the frosting is, it gave it this really pretty purple color. So the frosting is yellow, or a little yellow, with the lemon zest, and then has little bits of purple coming through. It's so good. I cannot wait to have more. That's it. That's my meal prep for the week. I think the breakfast might wear me out, so I'm hoping I will have time to do my baggies or something, just because anyway, busy week, easy recipes are key. Thanks for watching. If you have questions or anything, don't hesitate to reach out to me. Bye. Hope you have a great week this week.